This is much bigger than you think. Diesel just hit $5.38 a gallon nationally. Independent truckers are paying almost 2 times the price to fill up. 70% of your food moves by truck. Here's how the price shock is going to hit you and how to avoid it.
The trucking industry just survived 3 years of what veterans called the worst freight recession in its history, 2022 through 2025. Thousands of small fleets went under. Owner-operators, guys running one rig, one route, one paycheck, left the industry entirely. The ones who stayed did it on fumes and stubbornness. By the time 2026 started, the number of available trucks in America had contracted to a multi-year low. Then the Iran war started, and diesel posted the largest single-week price increase ever recorded, 96.2 cents in 1 week, broke the record set when Russia invaded Ukraine. National average blew past $5. As of this week, it's $5.64. California's over $7, and the EIA says it hasn't peaked yet. They're projecting close to $5.80 in April, which would tie the all-time record from June 2022. So picture what just happened. An industry that spent 3 years bleeding out, losing carriers, losing capacity, losing the small operators who do the unglamorous work of actually moving freight across this country. That industry just got hit with the most expensive fuel environment in 4 years. At the exact moment it has the fewest trucks available to absorb it. The load to truck ratio, how many loads are competing for each available truck, hit a 4-year high in March. Spot freight rates are the highest they've been since 2022. The trucks that exited during the recession aren't coming back. You don't re-enter an industry that nearly killed you just because there's suddenly demand, especially not when the fuel to run that truck costs $1,000 a fill-up. 3 things converging at the same time. Diesel at a 4-year high, demand at a 4-year high, available capacity at a multi-year low. That combination has never occurred simultaneously in the modern trucking era. There is no historical comparison for what's happening inside this industry right now. And that matters to you, even if you've never thought about trucking in your life, because of what diesel actually is. Diesel is not gasoline. Most people don't know the difference, and they've never had a reason to care. Gasoline powers your car. You see the price every time you drive past the station. Diesel powers everything else. And everything else is the part that determines what your life costs. 72% of all freight in the United States moves by truck. By value, 64% by weight. More than 4 times as much as rail. 14.9 million trucks. 330 billion miles a year. 11.27 billion tons of freight. That's not a transportation statistic. That's the operating system of the country. And the operating system just got hit with a cost shock while running on its smallest workforce in years. Follow a loaf of bread. A diesel combine harvests the grain, fuel surcharge. Truck to the grain elevator, fuel surcharge. Elevator to the flour mill, surcharge. Mill to the bakery, surcharge. Eggs and milk arrive at that bakery by refrigerated truck, surcharge. Finished bread to the distribution center, surcharge. Distribution center to the grocery store, surcharge. By the time you pick up that loaf, diesel has touched the price a minimum of 4 times. The number at the pump isn't the number on the shelf. The shelf number is the pump number compounded through an entire chain. And right now, that chain is being run by fewer trucks at higher cost with more demand than at any point in years. Food is the obvious one. 70.5% of all US food relies on trucks. But here's where it gets broader than anyone's reporting. Medicine, insulin, cancer drugs, vaccines, biologics, all temperature-controlled freight, fastest growing segment in trucking, and the least flexible. Medicine can't wait for a better diesel price. It can't reroute to rail. It runs on refrigerated trucks, and those trucks run on diesel, and the cost runs downhill until it hits a patient who never sees the word diesel on any bill they receive. They just see the deductible go up. Building materials, lumber, steel, drywall, concrete, all flatbed freight. Flatbed spot rates have risen 12 of the past 13 weeks. A contractor quoting a kitchen remodel today is quoting at freight rates that didn't exist 8 weeks ago. The homeowner paying that quote is subsidizing a diesel spike.
Hey, real quick, I gotta jump in and say when budgets compress this fast, the real estate cycle doesn't warn you, it just turns, and it turns fast. The real estate crash bundle I put together of courses, like an entire program, shows you how to spot when sellers get desperate, how to position when leverage flips, and how to stay ready to buy when fear peaks. I'm gonna throw the link down below, and now let's get back to the video.
Agricultural inputs, fertilizer, seed, equipment parts. Diesel hits farming twice, once on the way in when the inputs arrive at the field, and again on the way out when the harvest leaves it. The grocery price increase most people are about to feel has two layers. The cost of growing the food went up before the cost of moving it did. Consumer goods, everything in every big box store. Electronics, clothing, appliances, furniture, tools, cleaning products. The retail economy is a diesel economy wearing a storefront. E-commerce. Every Amazon package came off a diesel truck for at least part of its journey. Amazon said it themselves when they announced the 3.5% fulfillment surcharge. Elevated fuel and logistics costs. That's diesel in a corporate press release. And the one that makes the whole thing circular. Energy itself. The equipment that drills for oil runs on diesel. Pipeline construction runs on diesel. Refinery maintenance runs on diesel. The fuel industry depends on the fuel it produces to produce the fuel. When diesel rises, the cost of making energy rises. There's no exit from that loop. An owner-operator in West Virginia filled his rig last month. Same tank, $700 in January, $1,000 in March. He gets 6 miles to the gallon. At $5.64, that's nearly $1 per mile just in fuel before he makes a cent. Large fleets hedge. They lock rates months ahead. 350,000 independent operators don't have that option. They eat the cost the day it hits. Or they park. Many are parking. Every truck that parks removes capacity from a system that's already at a multi-year low. Less capacity means more competition for the trucks still running. More competition means higher rates. Less capacity means more competition for the trucks still running. More competition means higher rates. Higher rates mean higher costs pass through to every category we just walked through. The squeeze feeds itself. Diesel goes up, trucks go down. Rates go up, prices go up, and the industry gets thinner, which makes the next spike worse. Here's what most people haven't put together yet. The timing. The diesel spike happened in March. Freight contracts don't reprice overnight. They roll on 30 to 90-day cycles. Retail supply agreements lock quarterly. The full price impact of March's record-breaking diesel spike has not reached store shelves yet. It's in transit right now, literally sitting on trucks, moving toward the retail system at freight rates that didn't exist 2 months ago. Kathy Bostjancic, chief economist at Nationwide, said CPI inflation could hit 4.4% in coming months, up from 2.4% in February. That's not speculation about what might happen. It's a description of cost increases already baked into freight invoices being processed this week. Your April grocery bill doesn't fully reflect March diesel. May's will. June's will go further. The medication refill in May. The contractor quote you're waiting on. The hardware store run. The delivery fee on the thing you ordered last night. Every one of those is a downstream consequence of a fuel spike that happened 6 weeks ago and at $5.64 this week is still climbing. The Washington Trucking Association said it plain. When diesel costs stay high, it impacts everything, from the cost of goods to the stability of small businesses across the country. Paul Dietrich at Wedbush Securities said it plainer. Diesel is what moves the real economy. If the Iran war keeps it elevated, this becomes a direct hit on consumer prices. The spike already happened. The industry it hit was already at its weakest point in years. The capacity to absorb it doesn't exist, and the lag between the spike and your receipt is 30 to 90 days, a window you're sitting inside right now. The bill is in transit. It hasn't landed yet, but the truck carrying it is already on the road. The system moves at the speed of diesel, and diesel is moving against you. $1 per mile, every category, every price. The numbers are already in the logbooks, the invoices are already printed, the trucks are already moving. Every one of those is a downstream consequence of a fuel spike that happened 6 weeks ago. The cost hasn't arrived at your shelf yet, but it's on the highway, and it's coming. 1 ton at a time, 1 gallon at a time. The real economy is a diesel economy, and you're the one paying for it.